And Representative, you can start when you're ready.
Thank you, Senator. For the record, Representative Rick Francis, serving District 145, Southeast Missouri, Perry, and St. Genevieve. House Bill 725 is our ATM smash and grab bill. It is the same as the Senate version, Senate Bill 186, that you're pretty familiar with. That was voted out of this committee. And so with that, be happy to answer any questions.
Do I just say I have no questions, I guess? We'll go with that. I don't have any questions for the bill sponsor, and yes, we are familiar with this. First up, in favor of House Committee Sub for House Bill 725.
Good morning, Madam Chairman. David Kent, Registered Lobbyist for the Missouri Bankers Association. Just want to go on record in support of the bill. Happy to answer any questions.
I have none. Next up, in favor.
Madam Chairwoman, Ian Dunlap with the Missouri Credit Union Association, going on record in support.
No questions. Next up.
Good morning. Kara Corches on behalf of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry, also just wanting to go on the record in support.
Thank you for your testimony. No questions. Anyone else in favor of? Seeing none, anyone here to testify in opposition to House Committee Sub for House Bill 725? Seeing none, anyone for informational purposes only? Seeing none, this will, Representative, do you have any final comments?
Thank you for hearing bills.
Emphasis on me, right? Me hearing it. All right, this will conclude the hearing on House Committee Sub for House Bill 725. All right. Representative O'Donnell, we're going to go next with House Committee Sub for House Bill 809. You can proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Normally is the point where I say and committee members. I'll refrain. For the record, State Representative Michael O'Donnell. I represent the 95th District, which is the southernmost part of St. Louis County. I also serve as the chairman of the Financial Institutions Committee in the House. House Bill 809 is our omnibus financial institutions bill. The underlying bill is House Bill 809, which codifies in statute half a year or half a semester credit for financial literacy. DESE is currently doing this. This bill just codifies it in statute and kind of determines how the curriculum is reviewed. Next up is House Bill 1109, which increases the Treasurer's Linked Deposit Program from $800 million to $1 billion. Next is House Bill 234, which was kind of a surprise to us on the House side that it's not actually in statute that political campaigns can actually use credit and debit cards, and this essentially just puts it in statute. So then next is House Bill 155, which is passed. Last session made it through the entire process without a single no vote. It was number 4 on the calendar on the Senate side before session ended, but it is the retirement savings plan that is done through the Treasurer's Office, where we pool small businesses through the Treasurer's Office in order to allow them a chance to offer a 401k retirement plan to their employees at a much more affordable rate. Next is House Bill 586, which I believe coincides with Senate Bill 13, which is the Division of Finance language that you all passed out of this body and out of the Senate. Next is our House Bill 585, which the companion is Senate Bill 12, which is the chair's bill, which is over in the House now as well. Next is our House Bill 584, which is Senator Justin Brown's Senate Bill 187, which has to do with the commercial financial disclosure law. And then the last piece is the piece you just heard from Representative Francis, the ATM smash and grab language. So with that, and I sent a spreadsheet just of a kind of a concise description of each of the bills for the members of the committee. With that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Well, it appears we have a quorum, so we're going to stop real quick and establish a quorum. Barb, would you please call the roll?
Senators Crawford,
Here.
Trent, Brown, Hoskins, Huff, Mosley, Roberts.
We do have a quorum. Any questions for the bill sponsor? Just for the committee's information, we started in a subcommittee of one, and we've already heard Representative Francis's bill, and this is the second bill up, and we're on 809. Just for your information, does anyone have any questions for the representative, for the bill sponsor? I think most, if not all of this, we've heard. I think maybe there may be one that we haven't. Most of them.
I don't believe you've heard the ethics, the use of credit card and debit cards. That's probably the only one you haven't heard.
And your retirement piece, I don't think we.
I don't think it's been through this committee. It went through small business last
Okay.
session.
Okay. All right. Questions for this bill for the bill sponsor? Seeing none. Anyone here wishing to testify in favor of House Bill 809?
Madam Chair, members of the committee, David Kent, registered lobbyist for the Missouri Bankers Association, here to testify in support of House Bill 809. Many of the provisions we have testified in support of throughout the legislative process. The remaining bills that we have not testified on, we are neutral on. Be happy to answer any questions on any of the specific provisions.
Questions for this witness? Seeing none, we're going to take a pause here. Since I have a quorum, I want to take advantage of them, and we're going to go into executive session. It will not take us too long, I don't think. So I make a motion, we go into executive session. Do I have a second? I have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. The ayes have it. We're in executive session. Okay. I move that we take up House Bill 585. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. This is the bill that we heard. This is dealing with, it's first of all, it's Representative Owen's bill dealing with the issuance of credit cards. We do have a committee sub, which you should have all gotten, I believe, via email. And do they have it here in front of them as well? No. Got it. You have a summary in front of you. You should have gotten the bill via email. This the sub includes the MEM bill, Senate Bill 181. It came out of our committee 7-0. It includes the second injury fund bill, Senate Committee Substitute for Senate Bill 521. That came out with a vote of 5-0. It includes Senate Committee sub for Senate Bill 13, the Division of Finance and the credit card bill. That was a vote of 7-0. It includes Senate Committee sub for House Bill 655, which is the aircraft insurance. That came out 5-0. It includes the lender-placed insurance. Senate Bill 101 came out with a vote of 7-0. And Senate Bill 187, which is the Commercial Financing Disclosure Act, also came out 7-0. So I do have a committee sub. I move that we adopt the committee sub. Do I have a second? Second. I have a second. Any discussion on the sub? Seeing none. All those in favor of adopting the sub, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes have it. I now move that we vote House Bill 585 with Senate Committee sub out of committee do pass. Do I have a second? Second. I have a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. Barb, would you please call the roll?
Senators Crawford,
Aye.
Trent, Brown, Hoskins, Huff, Mosley, Roberts.
By your vote of 4-0, you have do passed Senate Committee sub for House Bill 585. Next up is House Bill 1019, and I move that we take up House Committee substitute for House Bill 1019. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes have it. This is the bill we heard dealing with property and casualty insurance. It was Representative Christofanelli's bill. Is there any discussion? One second. Okay, this was a House Committee sub.
It was, we did not, we don't have to, yeah, it's a House Committee sub.
Oh,
Vote, that's not.
Got it. Okay, all right. Sorry, I just needed some clarification. Oh, okay. The House Committee sub included the MEM bill, the aircraft bill, and the lender-placed insurance, just for your recollection. And so I move that we vote the House Committee substitute for House Bill 1019 out of committee do pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Barb, would you please call the roll?
Senators Crawford.
Aye.
Trent. Brown. Hoskins. Huff. Mosley. Roberts. And I'm sorry, are you waiting?
Senator, it's 1019, and if you,
It's the underlying bill where it's just as is. There's no sub.
it was the MEM bill, the aircraft insurance bill, and lender-placed insurance. And I believe they've all voted out of committee with 0 no votes to this point, up to this point. All right. So by your vote of 5-0, you have do passed House Committee substitute for House Bill 1019.
536. Which is the digital mining.
Sorry, let me get to my script. Okay, I now move that we take up Senate Bill 536. Do I have a second? Second. I have a second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. This is the bill that we heard from Senator Fitzwater last week dealing with digital mining. Is there any discussion on the bill?
Yes, Madam Chairman. I have an amendment. I believe it's been distributed. I move for its adoption. Oh, well.
No, I have not seen it.
Oh, okay. Well, so what this amendment would do is at the very end of the bill, Section 5, where it currently says the Public Service Commission shall not establish a rate schedule for digital asset mining that creates discriminatory rates for digital mining or digital asset mining businesses. This would insert that the Commission can set rates reflective of the cost to serve, but shall not establish a rate schedule that would be discriminatory, as the language already says. So we want to clarify that they can set a rate that's reflective of the cost to serve such entities.
Any discussion on that amendment? Senator, are you moving for the adoption of the amendment?
Yes, I move for its adoption.
Senator Trent has moved for the adoption of the amendment. Do I have a second? I'll second that. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The amendment has been adopted. Do I just do it as amended? Yes, only as amended. Oh,
Yeah, we wanted.
I make a motion that we do pass the Senate committee substitute, which will roll that amendment into it. So I make that motion. Do I have a second? Second. I have a second. All those in favor of adopting the substitute, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. The ayes have it. I now move that we vote Senate Bill 536 with Senate committee substitute out of committee do pass. Do I have a second? Second. I have a second. Any discussion?
Any discussion?
Any discussion?
We're on.
Hearing none. Barb, would you please call the roll?
Senators Crawford.
Aye.
Trent. Brown. Hoskins. Huff. Mosley. Roberts.
By your vote of 5-0, you have do passed Senate committee substitute for Senate Bill 536. One more. The last bill that we're going to, Senator Roberts, just for your information, we have exec on 3 bills. We're getting ready to exec on the 4th bill, which is the link deposit or MOBUCs, upping that cap from $400 million, is that right, to $1.6 800 to $1 billion. So that's what we're getting ready to vote on now. I move that we take up Senate Bill 657. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Again, this is the bill dealing with the linked deposit cap. I believe the testimony we heard last week said that they would, at the current rate, they're going to run out of funds in May or June, May, I believe. So that's why the Treasurer's Office was asking to raise that cap. Do I have a second? Any discussion on, I think I paused in the middle there. Any discussion on the substitute? And the substitute is what we did the hearing on last week. It changed the buckets in dollars to percentages, if I recall correctly. So I did present the bill as the sub last week. Any discussion on the sub? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the committee substitute, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. I now move that we vote Senate Bill 657 with Senate committee substitute out of committee do pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. Barb, would you please call the roll?
Senators Crawford,
Aye.
Trent, Brown, Hoskins, Huff, Mosley, Roberts.
6.
Yep.
By your vote of 6-0, you have do passed Senate committee substitute for Senate Bill 657. I make a motion that we go out of executive session. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor of going out of executive session, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. We are back on Representative O'Donnell's House Committee sub for House Bill 809.
Just happy to answer any questions. if
All right.
committee members
We
have any.
stopped you right. We stopped you right in the middle, did we not? All right. Any questions for this witness? Seeing none.
Thank you.
We just wanted to make you sit there for a while. Next up in favor of House Committee sub for House Bill 809.
Madam Chair, Ian Dunlap with the Missouri Credit Union Association, going on record in support. Many good things in this bill, and we certainly appreciate it.
Questions for this witness? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony. Next up in favor.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Heath Clarkston here on behalf of FCS Financial and also the Mortgage Bankers Association.
Questions for this witness? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony. Next up in favor.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Alex Eaton testifying on behalf of the revenue-based
Acting Commissioner for the Division of Finance. Division is supportive of this bill, particularly the items that are related to the Division of Finance and the industries we currently oversee, which were contained within Senate Bill 13, which this committee has already heard. Happy to take any questions you may have.
Questions for this witness? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony.
very much.
Next up in favor.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, my name is Jay Hardenbrook. I'm the Advocacy Director for AARP here in the state of Missouri. We would like to go on record in support of the legislation, especially the retirement savings for small businesses. It'll be a big benefit for small business and their employees.
Questions for this witness? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony. Next up in favor.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Sarah Schlemer here on behalf of Create Every Opportunity. We'd like to go on record and for the underlying portion of this bill. took a different path than what we thought it would take, but we're happy to be here today. So thank you and happy to answer any questions.
Questions for this witness? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony. Next up in favor. Seeing none, anyone here wishing to testify in opposition to House Committee Sub for House Bill 809? Seeing none, anyone here for informational purposes only for House Committee Sub for House Bill 809? Seeing none, Representative, any final comments?
Just that we've put a nice package of non-controversial stuff together over in the House, and hope it will be well received in the Senate. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. This will conclude the hearing on House Committee Sub for House Bill 809. Next up, we will hear Representative Henderson's House Committee Sub for House Bill 521. Representative, when you're ready, you can proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chairman and members of the committee. For the record, Mike Henderson, State Representative, 117th District, Farmington, Bonne-Terre area, here today to present House Bill 521, which is dealing with GAP products. Basically, what it does is, and let me say first, it went through unanimously through financial institutions and rules. Motor vehicle protection product. It's an agreement that protects the consumer's financial interest in a motor vehicle. It also has a debt waiver agreement, which must disclose in writing that a debt waiver can be canceled after a free look-in period, so it's got the consumer protection parts of it. The person must maintain insurance. So basically, this is to try to help people who may be underwater in their car, try to make sure they're protected with that. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Questions for the bill sponsor? Seeing none. First up in favor of House Bill 521.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, my name is Bren Hemphill here on behalf of the Guarantee Asset Protection Alliance. We want to go on record in support of the bill. This bill is identical to Senator Trent's bill, and just happy to answer any questions.
Questions for the witness? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony. Next up in favor? Seeing none, anyone here to testify in opposition to House Committee Substitute for House Bill 521? Seeing none, anyone here for informational purposes only for House Committee Substitute for House Bill 521? Seeing none, Representative, any final comments?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. Next up will be my Senate Bill 586. Mr. Vice Chair, would you please take the gavel?
Please proceed when ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. For the record, Sandy Crawford, District 28, here to present Senate Bill 586. I'm going to give a very broad overview, and I do mean broad. Senate Bill 586 sets up the registration requirements and rules concerning earned wage access services. Earned wage access is a service by which consumers can advance their wages that they've already earned but not been paid. Like, for instance, if you are on a 2-week pay period and you have earned 1 week of that, but it's not pay time until the next week, you've actually earned one of those weeks. So it lets you access that. They work many times with the businesses themselves to set this product up. And I'm happy to answer any questions, but this bill basically just sets up the requirements and the rules, and so I've got a witness that can get into the details that I'm sure can answer all your questions.
Questions for the bill sponsor from the committee? Seeing none. First witness testify in support, Senate Bill 586.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Alex Eaton testifying today on behalf of Earnin. We have worked with several various groups and operators in this space to come up with these regs. Appreciate Senator Crawford bringing them forward. As you mentioned, earned wage access allows employees and workers to draw down funds that they have earned in between paychecks. My company partners specifically with employees directly. We do not partner with employers direct. I think there are some other groups that partner with that, so there are two different models, but this language covers both, and appreciate this being brought forward and happy to take any questions from members on specifics.
Questions for this witness from the committee? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony. Additional witnesses
Thank you.
testify in support, Senate Bill 586.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Heath Clarkston here on behalf of Daily Pay, and following up on the previous witness, we support the bill, and our platform is a little bit unique versus theirs, but the bill is all-inclusive and allows everybody to work under the regulation, and we contract directly with employers. It's part of like an HR type offering where you've already earned the wage. It just gives you access to the wage that you've already worked.
Thank you for that testimony. Any questions for this witness from the committee? Seeing none.
Thank you.
Additional witnesses testify in support of Senate Bill 586. Seeing none, are there any witnesses here testifying in opposition to Senate Bill 586? Seeing none, are there any witnesses here to testify for informational purposes only? Seeing none, that will conclude the hearing. Bill sponsor, would you have any other comments? No. With no further business coming before the Committee on Insurance and Banking will stand adjourned.